last year. That is to say, what we record is that there is an increase of 8 persons. If there is a positive side to this, there are no children among the fatalities. Last year, we saw an accident where a child died. So the dynamics is very sad because it is increasing. The reason for that is the following. We see the thin ice on water areas. Daily, we see in the mornings we see the temperatures above zero, while the sub-zero temperatures are taking place at night. And this is to say that the ice is very thin, but it doesn't prevent our lovers of fishing to go fishing on thin ice. This is the reason for the negative statistics growing. As for the mountains, there are so many people going to ski in the mountains, including those who are trying to illegally cross the Ukrainian border in the mountains. What is the statistic there? This year, unfortunately, we have recorded an increase in terms of rescue. It's a good thing, but we have seen accidents where people were likely to have died in the mountains. In the beginning of this year, we have 35 accidents where rescue teams were engaged to provide rescue for the people in the mountains. 2 people were dead. Comparing to the last year, the number of fatalities was 1, which is to say we have a 100% increase, although the figures are not that dramatic. 43 persons have been rescued by the mountain services of the SAC, including 5 children. In the year 2024, we rescued 35 persons, including 2 children. So the rescued persons have been on the increase. Let us remind people of how not to get into trouble when you are going to the mountains. The safety regulations are very simple. You have to be aware of the weather forecast. If there is a warning of the avalanche or strong winds or some negative natural phenomena, of course, your tourist anxiety must be postponed. You have to get registered through the websites of our departments in the Transcarpathian, Ivano-Frankivsk, and Lviv regions. They have set up search and rescue teams that are specializing in mountain rescue operation. Another option where we can get registered is the mobile application that's called the Rescue in the Mountains. Why do you have to do this? The search and rescue teams will be able to identify your place because it has a reference to geolocation. And if you are in trouble, they can identify the place where those stray tourists are. Our mountain rescue teams are working 24 hours a day, and they're efficient under different weather conditions. This is a challenging job. They have seen a number of challenges, but they're getting an upper hand there. Let me remind you, in the mountains, we see the 3rd level of the avalanche danger. An important issue here is this. If you are seeing an avalanche, effectively, if you have not been found in 15 or 30 minutes, the chances of your rescue go down dramatically and are almost zero. That's why we recommend that the tourist groups take along with them the so-called beepers, the devices that give out some frequencies and the same frequencies are tracked down by the rescuers. And if a person is under the snow avalanche, it is quite easy to identify them and to dig them out. What I would like to draw your attention to is this. In terms of your physical fitness, you have to be aware of your condition and your outfit. Outfit is quite important. We've been talking to the mountain rescuers, and the majority of the cases that lead to fatalities in the mountains is due to the fact that their outfit was not relevant. And second point is that they didn't know the routes of retreat. People just get frozen to death. It's a must to have fully charged smartphones and gadgets, and to have extra power banks and batteries to make sure that the signal is constantly ongoing, so that a person might share his or her geolocation. The more power banks, the more fully charged gadgets you have, the better. The mountain rescuers are working 24 hours a day. They have all the necessary equipment. Having said that, the equipment and the vehicles can get to the bed of the mountain, then they have to walk it all through, and of course it takes time. Once again, I warn the tourists to the fact that the elementary recommendations from the SEC must be observed. How many rescuers do you have on the mountains? About 130 rescue officers are on guard 24 hours a day to provide assistance. Let me go back to the situation in the water areas. Do you have some communication with people who go for winter fishing? Do you raise their awareness of the safety regulations? Of course, we are doing such a public awareness campaigning, because it is the winter time where the safety regulations are as urgent as ever. Now, when we talk about the fishermen, what do? We inform them through the social network platforms. It's not only about those who go fishing. And the other important that I would like to stress is the issue of parents. Parents have to engage in a constant explanation of the safety rules for their children. They have to say that the message is, you are not supposed to be on thin ice. Not that it's dangerous. The message is the only one. It is forbidden to be on the thin ice. We now share the information how to behave if you got under the ice, or if you see a person that is under the ice, how to help him or her. We have special information booklets available on our website of the SEC. Of course, we conduct inspections in the water areas. Unfortunately, not always our messages are heeded. The fishers, according to the Constitution, they are enjoying the right to be there. But our officers are sharing with them information, they're sharing with them the booklets, the printed materials, to the effect that once you have stepped on the ice, you have to have some at least 15-meter long rope so that you can be helped not to get together in large numbers of public, because it provides a additional weight on the month, and you have to keep the distance between amongst them. And of course you have to keep that distance, because if somebody goes under the ice with you, he or she will not be able to help. We've been talking to Oleksandr Khorunzhyi from the SEC on the security and safety rules on water and in the mountains. We will be on air next week. Thank you for being with us. Stay tuned.